Hey guys, how are we? Hoping you can hear me. Oh. Hey Todd, how are you, mate? Do apologise, my phone has been playing up, so I'm just trying to get it to work. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Wait for a few more people to join in. I've got some basic stuff on the board, and I've got a few tips and tricks to go over with everyone when we get the chance. Currently outside, so there's a bit of a breeze. It's nice to be outside the house once in a while. Joys of night shift. How's the weekend going, everybody? Are you keeping out of trouble? Getting up to some fun, or? Excellent. I do apologise for the breeze in the background. As I said, just outside. I was enjoying this lovely spring day instead of being cooped up in the house. Hey, you playing NHL 20 or are you 18, 19? Bit of Black Ops, Fortnite? What are you playing? Alright, since you're the only one here, we might as well kick the video off and have a bit of a chat. Hey, I haven't posted for a while, been pretty busy with work and other things, so it's good to get back into it. The hockey season is fast approaching us, so I would like to set up the fantasy hockey and get you guys involved and enjoying it as well. Some of the basics: we want between 14 and 16 people per team, per competition. Sorry, with the top 8 players making the playoffs. With that, there'll be a draft, of course. It's just a standard draft. We basically put the names into a randomizer and spit out the draft order, 1 to 16 or 1 to 14, depending how many people we have. And then we reverse that order so that no one really gets a big advantage. Make it fair for everybody. When you are selecting your teams, be sure that you select wisely. I know everyone has their favourite players and teams and everything else, but don't forget to actually select with your head and not your heart. Do a bit of research, see who's around, see what kind of points people scored the year before, and then work your teams around that. To give you a breakdown of the rosters that you require, you will need to pick a team with 2 centres, 2 left wings, 2 right wings, and 2 goalies. You're allowed 1 extra forward. That can be either a centre, a left wing, or a right wing. And you're allowed 1 utility, who can be a forward or defender, or even an extra goalie if you want. With that, you can pick 4 bench players, and they can be made up of whatever you like. And you're allowed 4 defensemen. So with your 4 defensemen, make sure you're picking who scores a fair few points, but also who defends well as well. The 2A defenders are probably a better choice. With that, as we all know, there has to be a winner and a loser. So the competition is points head to head. So each week you'll play another member of the competition, and your team, that goes for 7 days, and the team that you select daily will be pitted against theirs. Just a reminder, the bench players don't get achieve points. So make sure you rotate your players who are playing daily off the bench into their positions, and the guys that are on IR actually have to be injured. So keep up with your injured reserve lists. But you are allowed to pick up extra players off the free agency list when you require them for injuries and so forth. Or if a player isn't performing well enough, move them off your team and pick up someone who is. As we all know, players go through hot streaks and cold streaks, so you might need to pick up players that way. When it comes to points, it's pretty simple. Any player in your team that scores a goal, you get 4 points. Any assists, you get 2 points. If they score or get an assist on the power play, you get an extra point. If they score short-handed on the penalty kill, you get an extra point. Every time your player shoots at the net, you get 0.4 of a point. Every time they put down a hit, you get 0.2. Every time they block a shot, 0.2 points as well. Your goalies, of course, they can't do the score the same way as everyone else. They get 2 points for the win. They get negative 1 point for every goal against. Every save they make is 0.25 of a point, and for a shutout they get 3. With that, some ideas, tips and tricks of how you can improve your team. Do your research. Make sure when you do select your players, select with your head, not your heart. I know a lot of people, I've made that mistake as well, will select their players due to really, really liking someone, and they may not perform. The whole point of this is to score as many points as possible, and so you need to pick your players accordingly. Before we have the actual draft day, don't be afraid to jump on the Yahoo app, which is the one we'll be using, to participate in mock drafts. Work out how it works. The draft we have, you'll have 45 seconds to select your players, as I said, 1 to 16, and then 16 to 1, so everyone gets a chance to select fairly. Draft for the purpose. Know what you want, know who you need, and know who's going to perform. Otherwise, you will end up with a non-performing team and you won't enjoy it. Understand the importance of goaltending. Your goaltenders are actually quite important, but don't forget, if they do get injured, or if someone you know is frequently injured in years gone by, you might have to pick up a backup goalie. Beware of injuries. When your players get injured, don't be afraid to move them to the IR list and pick up another player off the free agent list. Free agent list can be your best friend, it can also be a nightmare for you. But it is good to have a look around, see who's available, and also watch the waiver lists for other teams who are dumping off players and why they're dumping those players off, so you don't pick them up. Sleepers can be crucial. Everyone knows the big gun players. Everyone knows the McDavids, the Matthews, Line A, any of those guys who are Ovechkin going to put up the points, even Crosby. You need to make sure that you pick up players who may not be as well known, but are still point producing. Go throw away your bias. Make sure that we all have our favourite teams, we have our favourite players, and as I said, select with your head, not your heart. Monitor your bench. Don't be like me a few years ago, wake up and be like, oh shit, I forgot to set my team today, and realise you've missed out on a couple of 100 points. There's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse at all than missing out on a couple of 100 points in a week, which could be the difference between you making the playoffs or not. Get involved, guys. The only way that fantasy hockey is successful is you build a community, you have a good chat and a bit of banter with everyone else around. And hopefully you'll enjoy yourselves along the way. Remember, it's fantasy hockey. Have some fun, have a laugh, don't take it too seriously, but overall enjoy yourself. Some really good draft tips for fantasy hockey for those who are new. Don't forget to take advantage of that injured reserve list. You'll know some of your goalies will be get injured through the year. Make sure you got guys to pick them up. Don't overrate on rookies and prospects in a league. There may be a lot of guys like Jack Hughes, Coco or Kako, however you pronounce that. All those guys coming through. They might not produce this year. Yeah, you might want them on your roster, but they may not produce the points as some of the hardened seasoned veterans would. Don't draft a goalie early is probably one of the biggest tips. I know a lot of people will draft a lot of goalies and hopefully to trade off. A bit like what Vegas did with the expansion draft. And that didn't pay off too well for them. So make sure you just pick up your players that you need. Pick up some solid middle guys as well as some big players if you can. Don't forget to look through the draft list to see who's available. scroll through it. It's a live draft, and work out who's still there. Don't pick players because you just want them. Pick players because they're actually going to produce points. But the biggest thing, guys, is to make sure you have fun, and I think it'll be enjoyable. It's going to take us a little bit of a while for everyone to get used to playing. So, you know, if you have played before, don't be an absolute shark and steal some players off some of the less experienced guys who don't understand the trading process. There is a we call it a trade blocking mechanism within the game, so if someone's making a complete unfair trade, we are able to veto it with enough votes. That may happen, that may not, but to start with, guys, let's just keep it fun and fair so everyone gets a chance to enjoy themselves. Hopefully this fills in some of the blanks. I'm hoping to get the draft day set up by September 23, so we'll have a post up in the next couple of days to work out interest. If we have enough interest, look, I'm happy to make 2 14-man leagues and make sure that everyone gets a chance to play and enjoy themselves. Top 8 will make the finals, and they'll be pitted off against each other for a week each. You know, winner moves on, same thing. Unfortunately, I get best of 7 like we do in the Stanley Cup, but we will definitely have fun while giving it a go. Hopefully this helps out, guys, and hopefully any questions, please ask me. I'm really interested in hearing back from you guys, some feedback, and if anyone wants to have a chat about any other different parameters of the league, let me know, and we can definitely have a good chat. Alright guys, I'll catch you later.